I've seen things. Hey, it's your buddy Moo Juice Magic here, and I have another funny but true story for you. This goes back to the time I worked at a pool hall. Now, during the time at this pool hall, I worked as a bouncer, I worked as a bartender, I worked as a barback. I did a lot of the jobs there. It was a great place, had a lot of fun times there. Had a lot of bad situations there, though, because it was the rowdiest place in the county. And for those of you who are not familiar with Humboldt County, we have a lot of growers, a lot of drug addicts, a lot of gangs. Not like gangs like in the city, but like just different kinds of folks. A lot of angry people. There's groups of dudes on steroids. It's a conglomerate of all the weird stuff. Now, during this time, and this is, I want to dedicate this video first to my late friend DJ Ray Hernandez, or DJ Ray as we called him in the scene. You knew he was going to bring a crowd. You never knew what kind of crowd Ray was going to bring in. And it wasn't that he was doing it, he was just very good at his job. Very sweet guy, salt of the earth, kindest guy ever. Love the guy. Gone way too soon. So DJ Ray, this one's for you. Now, when I'm working at the bar one night in security, I'm working the back door, watching the back exit, and then kind of floating and changing up with another bouncer. And I'm stationed at the back door. We have a dance hall that there's like a second floor that's partial, that kind of like a balcony, but big, that comes out. The dance floor is under the balcony area. And then there's a very large section in the front that goes to the front door where our pool tables are. And these are, I think, eight or 10 professional sized pool tables. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time. I mean, I'm talking my mid 20s, early 20s. And it goes to the front door. So a long walk from the pool hall area to the dance floor. And the bar's on one side, the dance floor's on the other side. Back door, you know, yada yada, bathrooms, etc. All in the back. So all of a sudden, the music stops. And now for Ray, he didn't stop the music. If there was a situation, Ray would call it out over the microphone. But this time he stopped the music. It was that serious. And he said, "We have a fight in the dance floor. Security, we have a fight in the dance floor." So I'm right there by the back door. I get right to where it's at. There's a crowd of people forming a circle. And what I see is not what I expected by any stretch. There are two gals in the midst of a fight. Fight. Sorry, I do have a cold. I'm still kind of sick. So bear with me. Now, what I see is one gal on the ground, on her butt, kind of, button back, grabbing this other girl who is leaning over, trying to get away from her by the weave and ripping out parts of her weave. And the gal standing up is like, "I'm sorry, I'm trying." And I'm like, "Yeah, break it up, break it up. Hey, I'm security." And the girl on the ground looks at me and she lets go of what's left of the girl's weave that she doesn't have in her hand still. And she goes, "Oh, security." And the girl that was standing up backs up and she goes, "I'm sorry, I was trying." I'm like, "Hey, it's cool, just chill. I'm going to figure this out." Gal is still on the ground. I said, "Hey, chill, let me help you up. I'm security." And this girl has teeth. And when I say teeth, I don't mean like, I know my teeth are crooked. Her teeth are scary. If you've ever seen Sleepy Hollow, you see Christopher Walken play the Hessian. And in the movie, he's filed his teeth down to points, like triangles. Well, this gal had teeth like that, except they were rotted that way. And she went to chomp my ankle as I approached her, and I moved back. I was worried I would immediately get sepsis and die of my ankle from the bite marks. I guarantee she would have left rust marks, at least if she didn't penetrate my jeans. But I moved back and I said, "Hey, whoa, I'm security." And she looks at me and she gets a look, "Oh, security." And she goes, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Let me help you up." And I reach to help her up and she acts like she's gonna let me help her up. Instead, she reaches down and in the craziest thing, by now, all the other staff, by the way, is made their way to the dance floor. They're watching me deal with this and they're getting ready to help. And then she rips her pants off in one deft move. I do not mean the breakaway pants that were big in the 90s and early 2000s. I'm talking jeans. But somehow she took these things off. And I mean, it was like one move, poof, gone. I don't know strippers that can move like that to take their pants off. I don't know horny dudes that can take their pants off that damn fast. This chick, woof, pulled them off and tossed them. And everybody at this point, the crowd just goes freaking silent, aside from the gasps and everything else. Now, this gal is not a comely woman. This is a gelatinous woman. I mean, we're talking Futurama blob creature, not attractive, not hot, just some kind of they-them-ish thing. It morphin zones of undulating tissue, okay? Not attractive, not fun to look at. And this is wearing a thong. And when I say thong, I don't mean a thin thong, a bikini thong. I'm talking a thick, J.C. Penney-wise granny panty thong. If granny panty thongs exist, this would be what that is. Very thick, very unattractive. Already bad, worse situation. And to make it worse, she had like toilet paper tufts exploding out of every side of this thong. So I'm trying to keep my vomit down, but keep myself focused, man. I'm grossed out. Everybody else is like, you can hear upchuck sounds. But I'm still trying to be about the business. At this point, I'm wondering where the hell my backup is. And I look, and they're there, standing in with the crowd, eyes wide open, like deer in a headlight, like 13-year-old boys who've never seen boobs before, and this girl accidentally pulls her top off, kind of thing. It was that kind of look, but less aroused. There was not a hard penis in the building that night over that. And I went to help her up. Finally, she realized, okay, I got to, I'm like, hey, let's get you up. So her friend comes over here, I'll help too, and she sees her friend. We calm her down. We stand her up, and then she starts trying to fight me. I grab her wrist, and I grab the back of her shoulder, and I just start walking her to the front door, expecting my help at any point to jump in and get the other side of her and help. No one wants to touch her. No one wants to get near, and those who aren't grossed out are laughing so hard they can barely stand. My friend Jerome, god dang it, one of the best dudes I ever did security with. There was a few of them, but Jerome was probably the dude that I worked with the most, bar to bar, because we worked at multiple bars together. A guy who just recently stopped bouncing, and he's old, so I don't know. You go figure that one out. Spearball Jerome. I think he's going to pee himself during this time, but I have to stay focused. I have to be professional, while everyone else is having the time of their fucking lives. So I continue to move her. She continues to try to fight me. Now, at the time, I was training more often. My judo was still pretty good. I was in much better shape. I was lifting weights a lot. I'm walking her to the door, off the dance floor, down the long way of the pool hall, the front of the building, and the crowd is just following us, steps behind me. They have parted ways like the Red Sea. And then they're falling in behind to all move forward. There was no one but DJ Ray on the dance floor. The music had kicked back on at this point because Ray was about the business. Get her to the front door. And she turns and swings on me after she got about one step out. And I move, and I kind of move her back with her arm, and then I say, stop. You need to stop. And then she goes outside, and I said, yeah. And so I kind of go a few steps outside, and I said, you need to stop and chill out. Just relax. Your friend is right here. Her friend's trying to calm her down, has her pants. God bless her. Really sweet gal. And I say, you need to just chill. Your friend's trying to take you home, hon. Just like that. Just nice and sweet. Because I'm not, at this time, trying to be aggressive with her. I have to be forceful, but I'm trying to do it in a way that's not going to continue a violent interaction. And she seems to settle. And then like that, and I step back a little bit. And then like that, she comes charging at me and swings. To it, I move. I grab her wrist. I grab her elbow or shoulder and straighten her arm out. And I spin all the way around in a circle. And I launch her in the air. And she goes flying. And I couldn't really see. Like when I spun, I could finally see the crowd of people because the entire building's front is glass. I can see the faces. The ones that are not pressed against glasses like little puppies, hoping to get adopted at a thing, or little children at an orphanage. Oh, take me home today. These were people they had never seen anything like this. I had never seen anything like this. This gal undulating through the air. I had only seen the audience as I spun around. And then I launched, and I could feel everyone watching as she just morphed through the air. And it felt like an eternity. We were hypnotized by the waves and the ebbs and flow of her body convulsing and going back and forth in weird shapes. And she hit the ground. And the only way I've ever been able to describe this visually that makes sense. Have you ever seen the movie Tremors with Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward? At the end of the movie, spoilers, if you haven't seen it, it's 20 plus years old, guys. Come on. First of all, it's amazing. Second of all, it's 20 plus, it's almost 30 years old. If it's not 30. I'm old. Anyway, she hits the ground. And at the movie, the tremor thing is underground. It's chasing Kevin Bacon, these things called graboids, right? Well, Kevin Bacon jukes it, and it goes flying off the cliff. And then it falls down the cliff and hits the ground. And that's the only description, physically, visually, that I can come up with, that I've seen, that most people have seen, to describe what I saw. Because if you were not there to witness this, you truly don't know what you missed. Everything moved up. I thought she was going to bounce directly back up just based on how the movement was shifting, and it was crazy. Okay, science fiction couldn't make this up. She lays there and rolls around, kind of. Oh, bouncer, Koga Boogie Jedi. That's not what she said. She said, instead, she said, my brother's Hoopa. He's going to come kill you. He wants to fight you. She's not talked to anyone, mind you, in this time. Just yelling and cussing. And she's not been on the phone. Her friend is the only person there with her. So I don't know how her brother suddenly knows. But I said, hey, he's going to have to get in line. I hear that literally every night that I work here. Someone's going to kill me. Someone's going to kick my ass. I'm sure you'll get over it tomorrow. And then her friend tries to get her to her feet. She wobbles a little bit, kind of blah, 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 down. And she turns around and she goes, I'm kind of sorry. And she starts to chill. I'm like, hey, it's cool. It's okay. Just let your friend take you home. She goes, okay, I'm really sorry. I'm like, well, it's fine. It's fine. She's like, I'll come back and apologize. Yeah, we'll talk when you're sober. Just go home. So she walks off with her friend. Her friend takes her. They go. I look around. I look back at the bar, and everyone is still there, just dumbfounded, except for my buddies that are bouncing and a few other people that are regulars that know me. And they are all busy laughing their fucking asses off as hard as they can. Jerome is crying. He has tears pouring down his fucking face into his goatee. And you would think they had just seen Monty Python for the first time or something like that. It was a comedy of errors, for sure. It was horrifying. It was mortifying. I have nightmares about it to this day. There isn't much that scares me in this world. Sharks being the number one thing. And that's why I don't surf anymore. And that's why I stay the fuck out of the ocean. Because sharks, until they learn to come on land, are not a threat to me if I stay out of the damned ocean. Now, Jerome, the bartender Johnny, my buddy Joe, who's bar bouncing with us. I think my friend Tony was there. All of them, just flabbergasted. I'm not sure if Tony was there or not, but Joe and Jerome definitely were. And I know Johnny was, because he said, let's get back to work, man. Let's get this back together. Come on, we laughed enough. And then as we're on our way back to the bar, he grabs my shoulder and says some stupid shit. And I go back to work, and this chick tries to come back in the back door 20 minutes later. And I say, no, you can't come in. Have a good night. And that was the last time I ever saw that girl, thank God, in my entire life. Now, the cops came to the bar the next day, and an issue related to that girl that was not related to that issue. So I was super happy to hear that. It had nothing to do with this idiot. Just doing my damn job. Trying to keep the pool halls clean for you dirty rats. Support your local bouncer. Anyway, if you're a bartender, bar bouncer, a cooler, you work in the bar at all, you've been in the bar industry, you hang out in bars too much, and you have stories like this, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you've encountered. If you like stories like this, I've got way too damn many. I've lived a very strange life, and I'm happy to share them with you. If you like the video, please like it. Leaving a comment helps, and subscribing to the channel is the best way you can support that, and liking and commenting. All that stuff. Anyway, I'm Muji's Magic, and I love you directly in the face. I'll catch you later.